Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Before we get into today's video, please do me a small favour. Make sure to drop a like on today's episode and be sure to subscribe as well. It is game day. It's the biggest game of Manchester United season. We are playing Lyon in the Europa League tonight. I think it's an 8 o'clock kickoff, isn't it, this one? I want to know your score predictions. Get in the comment section now. Let me know your score predictions below. This is going to kind of sound obvious, but I'm very nervous about this game. Obviously, if we go out of the Europa League, then the season was already felt like it was over a long time ago, but we need to win this Europa League. And when you look at the teams that are still left in it, right? You've got Lyon, Athletic Bilbao, Rangers, Frankfurt, Tottenham, Lazio, and Bodo Glimt, right? Those are the only teams remaining. If we win this, obviously there's 2 legs, but if we beat Lyon over 2 legs, we play either Rangers or Bilbao. I think Bilbao were top, weren't they, of the group stage? So they're technically the best team in it at the moment, based on form. Let's have a little look at the odds for the winner at the moment. So currently the favourites to win the competition are Athletic Bilbao, then it's Manchester United, then it's Tottenham, then it's Lazio, then Frankfurt, then Lyon, then Rangers, then Bodo Glimt. So Lyon are one of the bottom sides based on the bookies in relation to the teams remaining in the tournament. It's not going to be easy, though. Obviously, it's going to be a hostile environment. They have got some decent players, Lyon. They've got people like Rayan Cherki. Obviously, Matic is there, who we'll be talking about in a minute. They're in very good form. In the last 5 games in the French league, they've won 4 and only lost 1. They're sat 5th in the French league at the moment. Who else do they have? They've obviously got Lacazette as well. They've got some experience in that team. They've got that Maitland-Niles guy who used to play for Arsenal, I believe it was. They've got some decent players, but I mean, at the end of the day, 36-year-old Matic, who was past it at United like 4 years ago, is the centre of their midfield. So I would still hope that Manchester United have enough to beat them, and especially with lots of players coming back from injury as well. You know, Mason Mount's back, Luke Shaw's back, Maguire's back, Ahmad we'll talk about in a minute. So we should have more than enough to dissemble Lyon, I think. But obviously anything can happen in a game of football, as we all know. But yeah, let me know your score predictions in the comment section below. I am going to go with 2-1 Manchester United. That's my prediction. But I'd love to know what you guys think. So get in the comment section now and let me know your score predictions. Who's going to win this game tonight? I mean, I guess a draw would be okay. But yeah, I mean, a draw would be all right, to be fair, in the grand scheme of things. A draw would not be the end of the world. I still want us to do better than that, obviously. I still am expecting us to, to go out there, put in a big performance. I'm going to go with 2-1 Manchester United. That's my prediction. But let me know yours in the comment section below. Apparently the final is in Bilbao. Wow. I didn't know that. So all of the pressure's on Bilbao, isn't it? Let's have a look at the fixtures for the Europa League. So Bilbao play Rangers and then either play Lyon or Manchester United. So Bilbao have got the easiest leg. I mean, still, though, going away to Rangers is never going to be easy. I think I'm relatively confident. I think if we can get past Lyon, then you play Rangers or Bilbao, and then the final 4 teams you could play is either Frankfurt, Tottenham, Lazio, or Bodo Glimt, right? I'm relatively confident that we can do that, that we can go through. I know it's been an awful season. I know there's nothing that really says that we should be winning the Europa League based on our form this season, but we do know that these players can put in a big performance when they're asked upon against I don't really know how to word this correctly, but when we're playing against a team like Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, like generally this season we've been all right. It's when we're playing the kind of smaller teams. And I do think that they will probably tonight play well, They'll play up because of the occasion, because it's a bigger game. It's always against like the teams in the bottom half of the Premier League where we seem to really, really struggle. So I want to go 2-1 Manchester United. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. No game's easy in any competition, really, especially not the Europa League. I mean, some of the games early on in the Europa League, I guess, were easy, but at this stage of the Europa League, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. So, yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Manchester United. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What is your score predictions? Let me know your thoughts. That's mine. Very interested to see what you guys all have to say, though, as always. But let's move on from there and let's talk a little bit about Liam Delap, shall we? Because there is some breaking news that's dropped this morning that apparently Liam Delap will be available for as little as £30 million if Ipswich get relegated, which is crazy. And you can kind of now see why. You can kind of see now why Manchester United are going for Liam Delap, because he's cheap. That's the fact of the situation, right? And I know some people are going to be upset about that, but that is the fact of the matter. We're going for Liam Delap because he is cheap. £30 million is cheap for a striker. And you know, the more I think about it, £30 million is not bad at all for Liam Delap, really. When it was like 40 million, I was thinking that doesn't sound right. That sounds like too much money to me. But in the grand scheme of things, can we all agree that £30 million for Liam Delap is actually a relatively good deal? When you think that we paid 70 million for Rasmus Højlund, right? I genuinely think that 30 million for Liam Delap is not bad. I'm not saying that it's the deal I want to do. I still think we should be looking at an Osimhen or a Gyökeres or someone of that quality. But in the grand scheme of things, 30 million is not awful. But again, I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are. Yeah, very, very interested to see what other Manchester United fans are saying about this one. Because I personally think if we can get Liam Delap for 30 million, I would do that deal, realistically. But again, very interested to see what you guys have to say. Who was this story reported by? Let me just get the story up. It's been reported by all of the newspapers this morning, so it's obviously been briefed by Ipswich. That the story says that if Ipswich get relegated from the Premier League, Liam Delap's release clause will automatically drop to £30 million. So, yeah, it kind of explains why Manchester United are doing what they're doing. It kind of explains why we're going after that player. It makes a lot of sense. I know there was a lot of people scratching their heads saying, why are we going for him? 40 million is ridiculous. He's too much money. But now it all makes sense, doesn't it? Would you agree? Would you be happy with Liam Delap for 30 million? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Get in there right now. I will read out some of your comments in a minute. Would you be happy with 30 million for Liam Delap? Or do you still think that's too much money? I would say this, right? He has Premier League experience. Obviously, he's come through the Manchester City Youth Academy, so it's not exactly going to be difficult for him to settle in, having played football in Manchester and lived in Manchester already. So that's a positive. The second thing I'd say is he obviously would count as homegrown because he's played in the Premier League before a certain age. He's played in England before a certain age. So that's obviously positive. You need to have a certain amount of homegrown players. He's got, I think, 12 goals in the Premier League this season. Højlund's got 2. So on paper, he's got 6 times the amount of goals as Rasmus Højlund. They're the same age. And he's playing for Ipswich, who are a worse team than Manchester United. Okay, so there's all these positives to this situation. And he's available for only 30 million, which is less than half of what we paid for Højlund. Less than half of what Gyökeres or Osimhen will cost. So I personally, for 30 million, would be happy with doing this deal. But I just don't think that him on his own is going to be enough to take us to the top 4 or to winning leagues or to where we want to be as a club. Would you agree? I think if it was him and like a Jonathan David or him and a Gyökeres, like that would excite me. And I'd say, yes, we're going up a level now. But at the moment, I just can't sit here and say, oh yeah, spend 30 million on Liam Delap and next season we'll get top 4. I just don't see it. You know, he is still young. He is still developing. It might take him a while to settle in. Maybe the size of Manchester United swallows him up. You know, we've seen that happen to many, many young, promising players where they come to Manchester United full of hope, full of promise, and then after a few games, they kind of wither away. And I can see people already talking about Patrick Dorgu like that, you know? He came to Manchester United, Patrick Dorgu, and his first 2 or 3 games, he was absolutely amazing. He was incredible. And then suddenly, there's people like, oh, he's rubbish, get rid of him. You know, there's already people turning on Patrick Dorgu after like 3 games, and he's 20 years of age. So we do have to be aware of that. That is one of the negatives of this. Whereas somebody like a Gyökeres or an Osimhen, they have that aura, they have that experience. You know, they've played at the top level for a long time, and you would hope that they would come in and hit the ground running. Although there is no guarantees in football. You know, you might sign Gyökeres and he might absolutely flop, and you spent 70 million on him. That's a possibility. You know, just because he's a big name player who's scoring lots of goals in the Portuguese league doesn't mean that he's suddenly just going to, you know, come to Manchester United and be world class. That's a fact. So, yeah, very interested to see what you guys have to say about all of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Let's have a look at what people are saying this morning. Where are we? Don says that Jonathan David will cost you 30 million total anyway. Yeah, that's true. Wages, signing on fee. What else have we got here? Don also says, how much do you think Kane would be? I don't know. I think Kane has a release clause in January of like 70 million, 60 million. So he's still going to be expensive, Harry Kane. I would have signed Harry Kane when he was available. When was it? 2 years ago now? Before he went to Bayern. But arguably, Daniel Levy probably wouldn't have sold to a Premier League club. You know, we have to remember that. So it's easy for us to sit here and say, oh, I would have signed Kane. Why did we not do that? Daniel Levy probably wouldn't have sold us Harry Kane. That's the reality of the situation, you know? So, yeah, it's all good and well us saying, oh, I would have done this, I would have done that. But the fact of the matter is, you know, if Daniel Levy wasn't willing to sell him, then we wouldn't have been able to buy him, would we? And we know that Daniel Levy doesn't really ever sell to other Premier League teams. He always likes to sell abroad. So I agree Kane would have been a good option. I don't think I'd sign Kane now. He's what? Is he 31, 32? And not for the type of money that it's going to cost. I think he has a release clause in January. I think it's 60 million. I mean, it's a lot. If he goes for another 5 years, 6 years, and scoring you 20 goals a season, then obviously that's worth it. But the likelihood is Harry Kane's probably going to start deteriorating around now, I reckon. In the next couple of years, anyway. You know, I don't see him as like a Ronaldo who's going to be going till the age of 40, banging in 30, 40 goals a season, personally. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. I think he already is starting to pick up some injuries. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments about all of that. Right, let's move on to the next story. A couple of people are saying we need 2 strikers. Alex says that Delap won't play second fiddle to someone, neither will Garnacho. I think Delap would start, wouldn't he? Would Delap not start for Manchester United based on what we have? He would 100% start over Højlund. I mean, at the moment, we only have 1 striker, really, because Xerxes isn't even a striker. He's a number 10, really, isn't he? I guess we've got Chido Obi as well, but he's kind of still coming through, isn't he? Chido Obi will probably get some minutes next season, but he's not going to be starting every game. I know some people seem to want Chido Obi to start every single game, but it's not realistically going to happen. Right. Right. Let's see what else we've got planned for the show this morning. Some positivity this morning. Amad Diallo is back from injury. There are pictures of him in training. I don't think he's going to be featuring today. Obviously, Manchester United are going to be very, very cautious about bringing him back too early. You know, they don't want to risk bringing him back and then... yeah, they don't want to risk bringing him back and then next thing you know, he's injured again. So, although he is back, I don't expect to see him playing tonight. I think we'll probably see him towards the end of this month, I imagine. But that's still positive. Gominda saying the Villa fans are turning on Rashford. Really? Where have you seen that? I only watched about 20 minutes of the game last night. Well, what are they saying? Someone let me know in the comments, because I haven't seen anything about the Villa fans turning on Rashford. Somebody let me know. I'll see if I can find what you're talking about. Villa fans turning on Rashford, you say? Okay, they're saying that apparently he wasn't defending. I mean, we all know that Rashford doesn't defend. So effectively the honeymoon period is over. The Aston Villa fans are all there saying, "Oh, it's Manchester United's fault. Ruben Amorim's not a very good manager." But in reality, the fact of the matter is, that it only took, 2 or 3 months for Rashford to show his true colours. It's very difficult to get that out of somebody's game, you know? The fact that he doesn't defend, the fact that he doesn't track back, he's not going to suddenly just start doing that. I mean, to be fair, he did for like 1 or 2 games, didn't he? I mean, to be honest though, like, I hope Marcus Rashford does well, because the last thing we want is Marcus Rashford back at Manchester United. I'm sorry. Like, I do not want Marcus Rashford back at Manchester United. Definitely not. I don't know what you guys think about that. I don't know whether you disagree or agree, but yeah, like, for me, it's a definite no. Like 100% a no. But I'd be very interested to see, like, is there anybody watching this video today who wants Marcus Rashford back at Manchester United? Is there a single person? And if there is, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Right, what else have we got to talk about today? Let's have a little look if there's any other stories. Where are we? Okay, let's have a look. Oh yeah, we want to talk about Andre Onana, don't we? So I assume everybody's already seen this quote already. Everybody seen the Andre Onana quote? So effectively, Matic was asked about Andre Onana because Andre Onana said that Manchester United are better than Lyon and that we should beat them effectively. Not those exact words, but that was what he was saying, that we're a better team, we have better players, right? And Matic responded saying, this is what Matic said. He said, at least I've lifted trophies. Oh, sorry, that was Andre Onana. So Matic said, when you are one of the worst goalkeepers in Manchester United history, you need to take care about what you're talking about. I mean, can any of us disagree? I would say he is in my lifetime, I would say he is the worst goalkeeper that I've ever seen at Manchester United. He's worse than Dean Henderson, definitely. He's worse than David De Gea. Who else have we had that's been bad? I mean, is he any worse than Jack Butland, who was on loan for a couple of months? I would say he's as bad. So yeah, I honestly would say that he's as worse as any goalkeeper we've ever had, realistically. Yeah. I can't think of any other goalkeeper that we've had that's worse. I mean, there probably are some, but I'm struggling to think about it now. Barthez wasn't great. Yeah, Barthez was a little... Yeah, anyway, we don't need to do the whole... I like David De Gea. David De Gea, for me, was a legend of Manchester United, and he was chucked away like a bit of trash, realistically. He was, wasn't he? Anyway, we don't need to go over that. this is just adding more fuel to the fire. It's like when boxers are gearing up for a big fight. You know, it's kind of childish. It's creating more noise around the game. And all it's doing is just creating anticipation. Now, I hope that Andre Onana sees this. Obviously, he has. He's responded saying, at least I've won trophies with Manchester United. That's what he said, which is quite mad. So it does just add more fuel to the fire for this game, which hopefully now it will make it an even better watch than it's going to be already. You know, and hopefully Andre Onana has a 10 out of 10 performance. That's what we have to hope for. You know, hopefully he sees this and he's like, you know, hopefully he sees this and he's like, right, I need to be at my very best tonight. The world is looking at me. I need to, you know, have a 10 out of 10 performance. Whether or not that will happen, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show this morning. Please do make sure to get in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed today. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys all later. Have an amazing day, everybody. And I will speak to you guys later. Bye for now. Have a good day.